Back in a moment.
Cardo to kick it off. The wind at his back at 13 miles an hour. And the deep man is Harlan Huckabee for Green Bay, and we hope you enjoy it. Away we go, and there's no way of telling what's going to happen this afternoon. Green Bay will be trying for the 14th time to win their second game in a row. That's over a 2-year period. That's how up and down they have been. Ricardo, a pleasant surprise for Minnesota, is the kickoff man, and the ball is returnable from the 2 by Huckabee to the 20, and did not get to the 25-yard line. So let's set the offense of the explosive Green Bay Packers for you. That tackle by John Turner. Lynn Dickey is the quarterback. Eddie Lee Ivory and Gary Ellis are the running backs. James Lofton, John Jefferson, the wide receivers. Tight end is Paul Kaufman, Carl Swanke, Dave Drexler, Larry McCarron, and it is Greg Cook starting at guard with Getty at the tackle spot. So they change it around right here at game time. And here we go, first down from the 22. Do you think they'll throw?
I don't think they will, Jack, the first time. Yeah, they will. They sure will.
Screen pass. Ivory gets a good block. He gets a first down and more. He's still going. No flags. He'll score. Now they're calling the play back. There is a flag back upfield where he stepped out of bounds at the 40-yard line. When it looked like Eddie Lee Ivory was going to go all the way with a screen pass, he's out of bounds at the 40. First down. They didn't wait to throw the ball, did they?
Well, normally, Jack, you know, against a team that plays the zone defense as much as the Minnesota Vikings, screens and draws are very important, very effective. In the very first play of the game, they run a screen pass as a miss on the far sideline to Ivory, a good block downfield.
And he stepped out at the 40.
They stepped out to 40, and David Drexler, boy, he really made a great block, number 61, the left guard.
And so a first down for Green Bay, and we're off to a scintillating start here at Lambeau Field.
And when they run, Jack, I think we'll see them run. I'm talking about the Green Bay Packers. I think maybe they'll try to run some to their left more so than their right.
Another pass. And a bad throw. A bad throw and went off the hands of Willie Teal, who already has 2 interceptions this year. Intended for John Jefferson, and throwing into the wind, that ball took off a little.
It did. It did. Dennis Johnson was blitzing on the play. There you see Jefferson on the inside, curls in front of the defensive back, Willie Teal, but the ball really took off and sailed, as you mentioned.
We have played less than a half a minute. Joey Browner comes in as the extra defensive back along with John Swain. They have 6 backs defensively for the Vikings. Pass. That ball was deflected, and it's third down. As we check the defense, under normal circumstances, the Vikings will use the 3-man front with Charlie Johnson anchoring the middle, Doug Martin and Neil Elshire alongside. The linebackers are Blair, Studwell, Johnson, and McNeil. Another Dennis Johnson. And the deep backs are Best, Teal, Hannon, and Turner. And don't forget, Minnesota is without Keith Nord. Here's their defensive quarterback.
Yes, and he's a captain on their specialty teams. The other thing on the last play, Jack, James White got in the face of Dickey, and that's one thing that you have to do against Dickey. You have to make him move his feet a little bit. If he doesn't move his feet, he's going to be tough.
Third down and 10. First down. First down, the ball is at the 49 of Minnesota, and a great catch by Philip Epps, number 85. He was covered by Willie Teal, but Dickey certainly was on target on 3rd and 10.
He was on target that time, Jack, because he had plenty of time to throw the ball. He had a chance to step and throw. You've got to put a lot of stuff on the ball today. He was able to follow through it, good rotation, and he got the ball right on the money. But if they disturb that tempo a little bit, rhythm a little bit, it's going to be very difficult for Dickey to throw the ball like he should.
I may have been a little quick in calling it a first down. They measure, and it is a first down for Green Bay. Let's watch that catch by Philip Epps. He's number 85 out of Texas Christian. You say that Minnesota has the lead in the competition between these two, but Green Bay has won 5 out of the last 6. They've had the Vikings number. And they'll play 3 weeks from now at the Metrodome in Minneapolis. And we'll be there, Hank.
Yeah, we'll look forward to that game. Should be another good one.
Well, they haven't run the ball yet. Gary Lewis is in, 2 tight ends. Jefferson in motion. Another pass play, and Dickey slips and falls and loses about 7 yards, covered by Studwell. We've had a drizzle all morning long. The weather is supposed to get better rather than worse this afternoon. The lights are on. The field was covered up until game time, but there will be some slipping and sliding today. It's going to be 2nd down and 16. Your lights are on at Lambeau Field, and you couldn't buy a ticket for this game. I mean, every ticket was gone.
2nd and 16.
6 defensive backs. Kept stringing the play out, and finally Gary Ellis, his name is Jerry, pronounces it Gary, was bumped out by Joey Browner. Browner is number 47.
That was a good change of pace call. It didn't work, Jack, but what they tried to do, they tried to trap inside, and they were trying to trap James White. A trap, of course, means that you permit the defensive lineman to come across the line of scrimmage like he is going to be blocked and then trapping from the inside. But they played it very, very well, and that's why Ellis had to run to the outside. By the time he got there, everybody was there to meet him.
3rd and 13 as a result. Lofton is to the left. Jefferson and Epps are to the right. And it was incomplete, as you saw, to the running back Mike Meade, and it's time for Green Bay to punt into the wind. Joey Browner was covering on the play. So Minnesota held Green Bay at bay in the first series of downs. This should be a very good game. There's Bucky Scribner, and we should point out he's a left-footed kicker. The deep man is Rufus Best back to get it. Sometimes it's tough to field the ball from a left-footed kicker. The ball comes down spinning in a different fashion. A fair catch is called for. Boy, that ball almost hit the Minnesota lineman who was standing there, and Green Bay would have recovered. So those linemen should watch the ball. Well, the Vikings get the ball for the first time at their 25. Kramer was injured with a bad knee. This is the 5th start for Steve Dills, the quarterback. Ricky Young is in the backfield, along with Ted Brown. Is very difficult to bring down one-on-one, and that's a 12-yard run for a first down with Mark Murphy bumping him out of bounds. Here is the Viking lineup. Steve Dills, Ted Brown, Darren Nelson, although Ricky Young was in there that time. Sammy White and Terry LeCount are the wide receivers. And the tight end is Dave Casper. The linemen are Riley Huff, Swilly, Hamilton, and Tim Irwin. The ball is at the Viking 37. Good block by Sammy White on that run by Ted Brown. First down. Now the Vikings have one. Casper's on a wing to the left and in motion. And a pass play with the wind by Dills, and he's sacked back at the 31-yard line. He lost 6 yards, and Mike Douglas, the linebacker, got in there.
He's murder. You have to make sure that you block him all the time. He's on the weak side and blitzed that time and got right through there in good shape and made a sack on the quarterback, Dills. Number 53, Mike Douglas. He's a good one.
We checked them up front with Braggs, Johnson, and Ezra Johnson up front in the 3-man line. Anderson, Wingo, Cumbie, and Douglas are the linebackers, and the deep backs are Lee McCoy, Johnny Gray, and Mark Murphy. Darren Nelson is in there now, 2nd and 16. Gain of only about 2. Hey, you and I saw Green Bay early in the year. Looks like they've kind of toughened up defensively, even though they had all those points scored against them last week.
I think they have, really. I think Byron Braggs at the left end position is starting to play much better, and I think Charlie Johnson, an old pro, has been around for a long time, and I think he gives them some stability inside. And, of course, Ezra Johnson is an excellent pass rusher, a great defensive end, and comes into the game with 6.5 sacks.
As the Vikings usually do on a passing down, they bring in Ricky Young. It's 3rd down and 15. That ball flops to the ground as Dills was hit as he threw the ball. Ezra Johnson with a big pass rush nailed the Minnesota quarterback just as he released the ball. Number 90 got him. A big rush by Green Bay, and the Vikings have to punt.
Here you see Anderson blitzing on the play, and you see 79 Spears also coming from the inside, but they get to the quarterback. Dills in good shape and force him to throw the ball poorly.
Looked like Johnson was a little shaken up. We'll check him later. This is Greg Coleman. He has averaged 40-plus yards per kick. The deep man is Epps. A line drive. He'll return it from the 17 to the 20, to the 25, to the 30, to the 35. To the 40. He is out to the 45-yard line. A brilliant return by Philip Epps, who returned one earlier this year for a touchdown. So the Packers, after that tackle by Joey Browner, get the ball for the second time. They're at their 45-yard line, no score. 6,000 on hand, and these fans are rough and tough and hard to bluff. And the colder the better as far as they're concerned, and they'll come out and watch the Packers anytime, and quite a few have made the trip up to root for the Minnesota Vikings.
I'll put you down in charge of the cheerleaders on that little golden goodie there, Jack.
And the rain has stopped. The ball is at the Green Bay 45-yard line. Mike Mead is in their lineup, blocking for Ivory. Big hole, but he slips. And he gained only 2. We may see quite a bit of that, Hank.
Yes, I have the impression maybe they'll try to test Elshire as much as they possibly can on the right side. They ran in that time, had a pretty good hole, but the ball carrier is slippy, which is very obvious.
Let's talk about Elshire a bit. He's the right defensive end, number 73. Mark Mullaney used to play there. Washington tried to slip him through on waivers, and the Vikings picked him up for $100.
But the important thing, Jack, is he didn't even play college football his senior year because of a bad knee, and so nobody drafted him. Washington finally signed him as a free agent.
Second down and 8. Look at here. This is Ellis. He's in trouble. He's lost all the way back to the 35-yard line. Doug Martin latched onto him, number 79, and he wouldn't turn him loose. They're trying to run this ball on this series, Hank, after throwing the first time. They may have found it very difficult to throw the ball into the wind in this first quarter.
Yeah, I think the other thing is, you know, when you compete against another team like the Vikings, you have to know what they do best. So far in the standings against the run, they're 14th, dead last in their conference against the run, but 4 against the pass. So I think the Packers' thinking must be that we're going to try to run at them a little bit, see if we can control the line of scrimmage, and then we'll throw play-action passes rather than pocket passes. I think that's probably what the scheme is.
Third down and 18. 6 defensive backs. Big first down. Big first down. Down to the 21 of Minnesota. Rufus Best tackle lofted.
Now watch Dickey. He shows a lot of poise here. They got a good rush, and he sees room on the left side right up the middle. See, he takes it, but he always knows where the line of scrimmage is. And here again, he was able to step and throw. He had a lot of stuff on the ball, a lot of mustard, completed the pass for 42 yards. Look at Lofton getting away from Teal. They didn't touch him at the line of scrimmage at all. He makes an inside move outside, turns the defensive back. The ball is right on the money. He licks Best on an outside move, and for that reason, he got a big first down.
That was on 3rd and 18. Now it's a first down at the Minnesota 21. Ball was batted down for the second time today. It'd be my guess that Randy Holloway got a hand on it, and Green Bay had a wide open receiver downfield.
Yeah, Jefferson. Watch Jefferson. They got him on the line of scrimmage. The defensive back is looking into the backfield, you see, and for that reason, look at Jefferson. He's wide open down the field. They play a lot of zone. They look at the quarterback a lot, and for that reason, you can get some big plays, fooling the quarterback, especially on play-action passes. Fooling the cornerbacks, I should say.
10-12 left in the first quarter, no score. Dickey 3 out of 7. Extra backs are in there, Swain and Browner. The blitz is on. They pick up the blitz. The pass is...
It's good.
That's that thing.
I thought it was good, Jack.
The official said no, it hit the deck. The official said, I saw it, and Epps doesn't argue about it. The official was very definitive with his call. Incomplete.
They're blitzing up the middle, and here again, look, he gets a chance to step and throw. There we see the ball. Yep, it hit the ground. Good call on the part of the official. Really was. I thought perhaps he caught it.
And you made me think he caught it.
Yep.
I thought he caught it too.
That's why I'm not officiating.
10:05 left in the first quarter. No score. Third down and 10 from the 21.
They got to throw something inside here if they throw the ball, Jack.
A flag is down.
There it is.
And the pass is thrown to Lofton. And he is down at about the 12. That's not enough for a first down. And we'll check the flags. There are a couple of them down. What happened, Fred? That's Fred Wyant, the referee. He'll get the information from his mates. A close-up look at James Lofton. He's angry about something. And a holding call against Green Bay and offside against Minnesota. So we'll still have 3rd and 10 from the 21.
Couldn't tell what happened to Lofton, but he might have gotten a good shot coming off the ball, and maybe that's why he was concerned.
Number 79, encroachment, holding. Number 61, replay.
Nice voice. Fred Wyant, the referee. The umpire is Dave Moss. The head linesman, Tony Viteri. Line judge is Wilson Gozier. Dick Handak, the back judge. Royal Cathcart, the side judge. And the field judge today is Chuck McCallum. It's 3rd and 10. Let's listen to Lynn Dickey. Minnesota had their mind made up coming into this game that they weren't going to let Dickey stand back there and throw as he did against the Redskins.
Mandy Holloway got good penetration. Number 75 really came off the ball very aggressively, like he was shot right out of a gun. He came right up there, right up the middle, had a stunt. You see him gets a piece of Dickey. And also James White, number 72, was also in on the play. But I guarantee you, they're not going to let him stand back there like they did Monday night and just throw the ball, step and throw.
Here's a 47-yard try. Scribner holding the ball. Stenerud is 9 out of 10 for the year. His longest has been 47. The ball is blocked. And it will belong to Minnesota no matter what happens here. And they have the ball back at their 8-yard line. Well, things were mechanically wrong with the snap, the set, and the kick. Everything was messed up, Hank.
Yeah, the mesh was bad. The mesh was bad. Got the ball down in good shape, but look at right, number 52.
Hit him in the elbow.
Dennis Johnson hit him right in the belly button, looked like.
Dennis Johnson got a piece of that one, number 52. And so the Vikings get the ball for the second time. No score, and Minnesota is playing today without Tony Galbraith. He did not make the trip. He has a leg infection. Bills has Nelson in the backfield along with Brown, and Nelson gets only 3 yards, and then he is driven back. We have 9:15 left in the quarter, no score. Let's go to Brent Musburger in New York.
Zach, we got an update on Washington. No John Riggins, no Charlie Brown, no Mike Nelms because of injuries, but Joe Theismann still took him to this quick touchdown. He hit Art Monk. The Detroit defender slipped it 7-zip, and the Skins are threatening again. Back to Jack.
A 3-yard pickup by Darren Nelson. 2nd down and 7. Ted Brown in the backfield. He's blocking for Dills, who throws. It's caught by Nelson. He has a first down and held onto the ball despite the big hit by the cornerback Mark Lee. And it's a first down at the Viking 25-yard line. Hank, would you compare this quarterback Steve Dills to Tommy Kramer for us?
It's hard for me to do that, and be honest, Jack, because I've seen Tommy Kramer many, many, many times, and I think he's one of the outstanding quarterbacks in the National Football League. This is the first time I will have seen Dills, so it's hard for me to make a comparison, except that I do think probably that Kramer, from what I've seen so far, moves a little bit better than Dills.
First down at the 25-yard line, out of the I formation. Tight end Casper caught him, brother. As a coach, Hank, as the ball comes out to the 46, the tackle by Lee, you had to like the way that Casper put the ball away.
Well, he followed an orderly process. He makes the catch and then covers up and protects the ball. A play-action pass. Dills throws the ball right. Watch it now. He covers the ball up well right before he gets hit with both hands, and that's why it's very secure, and he didn't drop the ball.
Ball at the Viking 47 as they come away from the shadow of their goal line. They started at the 9, and it's a first down. When you have a linebacker like Cumby chasing people, frequently he catches them, and he came very close to missing this game today, didn't he?
He did. Yesterday we were out watching practice, and they were going through a walk-through workout on defense, and he was just walking through very gingerly and hurt his knee. They had to carry him off the practice field. They were a little concerned as to whether he could play today, but there he is. He coming on a blitz and made a great tackle, but he's very healthy and very much aware of the fact that he's going to be a very important part of this game defensively.
Second down and 12 at the Viking 45. And a loss of about 4 yards with Byron Braggs making the tackle. Little swing pass out to Nelson, pretty well thrown, but well covered. Hamilton was out there blocking, but couldn't do anything about the tackle by that fellow, 73.
The reason that play was not a good play, Jack, the execution was poor in the Dills threw the ball too quickly to Darren Nelson. He threw it deep in the backfield. He should have waited to permit the linebackers to get more depth, and then he could have thrown the ball in front of and given Nelson an opportunity to run one-on-one on the linebacker. He had too far to go and had no chance to get there.
Tim Lewis is the extra defensive back for Green Bay. Third down, 15. Look at that. Oh, he dropped it. That was dropped by Terry LeCount. Dills was under heavy pressure, stood in there very coolly, delivered the ball right on the money.
I tell you, he showed me something on that play. Boy, he got hit right about the time he was delivering the ball. Look at this. Watch him right here now. He gets hit by number 72, James White, and he still delivered the ball right on the money to the receiver. Look at that. Terry LeCount should have had it. It was right in his hands.
Here's the second punt by Coleman. A little better toward Epps. He takes it on the 13. He's forced inside and did not get to the 20-yard line. The big play by Minnesota on that kick return was by Robin Senline, who made him go back inside, and Dennis Johnson made the tackle at the Green Bay. Green Bay starts at their 18-yard line. No score, first quarter, 5:42 left. It's the third time the Packers have had the ball. Mr. Ivory had a nice trip for himself out beyond the 30 to the 31 for a first down. Tackle by Teal. Here's Brent Musburger.
Jack, the Bears are on the board against the Eagles. From the shotgun, Vince Evans will go to rookie receiver Dennis McKinnon. Pass interference set up the score at 7-zip over the Eagles. Let's go back to Jack.
That time they ran right inside of Neil Elshire. That time had beautiful blocking at the point of attack by Carl Swanke and Drexler.
And a 13-yard pickup by Eddie Lee Ivory. Dickey fakes the draw. And the ball is intercepted by Swain. And he has it, and he's down at his 40-yard line. It was intended for Lofton. Swain batted it up in the air and caught it. Remember, Green Bay is operating into the wind in the first quarter. Makes a big difference when you're throwing.
Watch Dickey, play action. Now watch, he throws the ball a little bit too quick, and he doesn't follow through at all. It slipped right out of his hand, went right over the top, and was intercepted by Swain, number 29.
Bud Grant is really excited about that interception by Swain. That's the third of the year for Swain. Across the way, there's Bart Starr wearing the baseball cap. And there go the Vikes from their 40-yard line. Mr. Brown, he may score. And a saving tackle was made. Catching up to the play was Ezra Johnson, of all people, on the big run by Ted Brown. I thought maybe that was a clip, but it was not.
You talk about great effort on the part of Ezra Johnson. He saved it. A counterplay, and they give it to the first back, you see. They've been giving it to the second back. Now they give it to the first back, and look at this this touchdown saving tackle by Ezra Johnson. A beautiful play, well conceived, very deceptive.
And the ball is at the 17. Dave Casper made a big block on that last run also. Here goes Darren Nelson. And a flag goes down. I think we may have an illegal block on the part of Minnesota. We'll check it out, though. Mike McCoy made the tackle on Darren Nelson. 4:18 left in the first quarter and no score. The Vikings were their first big threat. Fred Wyant trying to sort things out. Tony Viteri threw the flag, and it's a clip.
One thing's very obvious so far, Jack. Looking at Minnesota, their game plan has to be to run misdirection plays. They run a lot of counter plays so far to destroy the reads and keys of the linebackers, and so far they've done an excellent job of moving the football and making the Green Bay Packers.
We have a clip. Number 61, first down.
That was the block I saw by Wes Hamilton. He was pulling on the play and trying to protect the runner, but it was beyond the line of scrimmage, and he hit the Green Bay would-be tackler in the back, and down he went. So it is first down and 24 as the clip occurred 1 yard beyond the line of scrimmage.
Going back to the counter play, Jack, you know, they're trying to hold the linebackers, get them going one way and run behind them, and really they've done an excellent job so far.
We have 4:18 left in the first quarter. Now we're ready to go from the Green Bay 31. First down and 24.
And one thing Minnesota wants to do, they want to keep the ball away from Green Bay as much as they can, and that's why they're running so much, even with the wind.
Tim Lewis is the extra back for the Packers. Motion by Sammy White. And he missed on that throw to Ted Brown. Tim Lewis was there covering the extra back. Let's check some scores. The Bears go out in front on a Vince Evans pass over the Eagles in the first quarter. Washington has scored again. Reggie Evans crossed the goal line, 14-0 over the Lions. Cleveland and Cincinnati are scoreless in the second quarter. Green Bay plays at Cincinnati next week. And Houston jumps ahead of Kansas City 7-0 as Houston tries to win their first game of the year. Second down and 24. Beautifully thrown by Dills and a big gain. It still will be third and long. Hauling it in was Sammy White. He was trailed and then tackled by Tim Lewis, number 26. Third down and 12 coming up.
That time they had two receivers on both sides, two on one side, two on the other, which you call a double wing formation. It hit Sammy White on the outside. Again, they had a four-man rush, Jack, and did not get any penetration whatsoever. Steve Dills had plenty of time to throw the ball and delivered it right on the money.
Clock to stop with 4:09 left in the first quarter. No score. Third down and 12 for Minnesota. Wide open. And it is first and goal to go on a diving catch by Sam McCullum, number 84. What a great catch.
They sold on the formation that time, Jack, meaning that nobody was in the backfield at all. Three on the left, two on the right. He has plenty of time to throw again. That's the key. And McCullum, Sam McCullum, 84, is one-on-one on the outside, makes the catch. And now the Minnesota Vikings are down on the 5-yard line. But good execution, and they move people around very well with that formation.
As you saw, McCullum had only caught 3 passes prior to that reception. It's first and goal at the 5. Minnesota has overcome a clipping penalty on this drive. Aaron Nelson, he almost lost the ball. And then he gained about 1.5 yards.
That was an unusual call, Jack. They run a counter play on the 5-yard line, which you don't see very often. Look, at the left guard is pulling, the right guard is pulling. It's a trap, but it wasn't put in there right. It was a little juggle. It's a wonder he didn't drop the football on the play.
And the flag has been thrown.
Number 78.
And the call holding against Steve Riley, the left tackle. And it moves the ball back out to the 10-yard line.
People have to realize that an exchange between a quarterback and the halfback is strictly the responsibility of the quarterback to make sure it's a good exchange, because the halfback has to be looking for a place to run, and that exchange between a quarterback and the halfback has to be routine.
First and goal at the 15. And Nelson only got a couple.
Another counterplay, Jack. They continue to run the counterplay, which means they really have a great deal of respect for the linebackers of the Green Bay Packers.
Ezra Johnson, number 90, who was shaken up earlier, made another tackle.
And I should say the counterplay is one whereby one back goes one way and the other back goes the other.
Green Bay has not been very good with their defense this year.
Look at this, 25th ranked, 25th versus the rush, and 26th against the pass, 28th overall.
3:20 left in the first quarter. No score in the game. Second and goal from the 13. Touchdown. Sammy White shook loose despite the heavy coverage. How in the world? I guess everybody thought the other guy was going to do it.
They hit him double, inside and outside. Inside and outside, Jack, and they hit him right between both backs. The other thing is he rolled to the left. He moved the pocket. He had, look at that, no rush whatsoever. Look at it. And he squats, Sammy White squats between the two defensive backs, right in between them. They were playing inside and outside, and that's why he was wide open.
3:10 left in the first quarter. Minnesota overcame a clipping call and a holding call to get the first score of the day. And the extra point try by Benny Ricardo. He is 17 out of 17. And now the score is 7-0 in favor of the visiting Vikings. And there's Sammy White. He caught the ball. How in the world did he shake loose? Look at Huckleby, who had a couple of good ones last week against the Redskins. Talking about Ricardo being a pleasant surprise, taking over for the injured Rick Denmark. This ball is taken by one of the wingmen. For Green Bay is Johnny Gray. He came across the 30-yard line out to the 32. Well, next Sunday, a doubleheader game on CBS. You'll either be watching the Vikings at St. Louis, and the Vikings have frequently had trouble there, or Dallas against the New York Giants. Second half of the doubleheader, the Rams against Miami. That should be a dandy. Or these Packers playing at Cincinnati. Nick and I will be there for that. Green Bay trailing has the ball at their own 32. Opened by Jefferson to give to Ellis. And look at that. A blitz paid off for Studwell.
They're trying to run to the left, and Studwell, look at him, comes through there free. Drexler, the left guard, didn't even touch him, and Studwell makes the tackle in the backfield and knocks him for about a 3 or 4 yard loss.
And they have put the ball down at the 25, so it turns out he lost 7 yards on the play. Second down and 17. 2.5 left in the first quarter. Joey Brown checks in defensively, along with John Swain, who intercepted the pass a while ago. Dickey crosses him up with a running play to Ivory, but it's going to be third down and long after that tackle. Third down and 13. Matt Blair still holding forth at that linebacker spot, number 59. He's a dandy.
He really is. He's not only a great linebacker, but he's done a terrific job of blocking kicks through the years.
About a 3-yard pickup.
I know they're concerned. People are asking why are they running the football? They're running the football because the wind's a factor. They want to do as well as they can. They get the win in the second quarter, and then I'll guarantee you they'll come right out of the tunnel throwing the football.
Third down and long. 13. Tipped and incomplete. Almost picked off again. Almost walking in front of this one was Tommy Hannon after the ball had been tipped. Intended for Eddie Lee Ivory. Fourth down, and Scribner will have to punt.
That's a good reason why they really do not want to throw the ball early. They're going to wait as long as they can, hopefully in the second quarter, have the win, and then they'll go after the passing game. But there's another one. There was one earlier to throw in the middle that should have been intercepted, and that was another one that could have been intercepted.
It's Rufus Bess inside his 35. The Vikings have the lead They should get the ball in pretty good shape if they handle the punt all right.
They got 10 guys on a line of scrimmage.
Let's see if they all go. They're lining up like they're coming after. Now the 30-second clock may catch Green Bay. They just got it away. They were after him all right. So there'll not be much protection for Bess, and the ball bounces out of bounds at the 38-yard line of Minnesota. Well, what a first quarter here.
I would sure throw the ball here as much as I could in the last minute because you got the win.
Aaron Nelson moves across the 40. He got 4, maybe 5 yards on that carry. Ran into Mark Lee and Mike Douglas. They have very active linebackers of the Green Bay team. We have a player who is injured, and that's George Cumbie. We told you earlier that he was injured in practice. They were fearful about his well-being today, and he may have suffered the same problem that caught him yesterday.
Yeah, that kind of a problem is really hard to understand because he was just walking through the play yesterday and hurt the knee, and now he was able to start today, which was really a surprise, and probably he re-injured that knee on that last play. Hope it's nothing serious.
He holds down the inside linebacker spot on the right side, and Jim Laughlin, number 62, Laughlin replaces him. Still on the ground. This is Aaron Nelson. That's about the same play. And no gain on the play. Johnny Gray came up and met it. Now we're down to 45 seconds left in the first quarter.
I can't understand. They keep running the counter play, which is a good play, but with the wind right before the turn of the quarter here, you would think they would be throwing the ball a little bit more where they have good field position, and I'm surprised they didn't throw it more.
They want to run out of downs and punt with the wind. Down to 25 seconds left in the first quarter to figure. Third down and 7. Good enough for the first down. That again was McCullum. You remember he caught the ball down at the 5-yard line to set up the touchdown. Estes Hood, the extra back, was trying to cover over there. And it is a first down at the Green Bay 40.
There was the same pattern, same formation that they threw the McCullum.
Mentioned that the wind here at Lambeau Field is 13 miles per hour. And evidently he's having a bigger impact on the playing surface than we thought it might. First down at the 40 and a pass play into the wind now by Dills. Look out, Steve. He dumps it off short. It'll be good for a few yards. And the Green Bay tackle is made by Rich Wingo, number 50.
Mike Douglas was blitzing from the backside, and he came very, very close to give him a shot right in the back right before he got rid of the football.
And Darren Nelson hauled it in. You could see that Minnesota dominated the first quarter by a 2-minute margin. And it creeps into your mind. Right here, Hank. Is Green Bay capable of coming back after that Monday night game? They look flat, don't they?
I think there's a different era about an afternoon game. There's a night game anyhow, Jack, and I'll go into that a little later.
Here's the up back again, and that's Ted Brown, and he has a first down inside the 30-yard line.
You know what they're doing on that?
Bragg's the tackler.
You know what they're doing on that play, Jack? They're running a counter play a lot where they're sending the fullback first and then giving it the halfback second, and they're pulling the backside people. They're selling out on the play, and they pull everybody like they're going to run the counter play to the left and just give it to the fullback without any blocking in that area, and they're fooling them because they're running right by the people who are chasing.
And it's a first down to the 29-yard line of the Packers. Ball is out of bounds. Out of bounds as thrown to Terry LeCount. And the wind may have caused that one to take off also.
He just didn't give himself enough room on the sideline. Look at, he's got plenty of, no rush at all, step and throw. That's the key. Throws the ball. By the time it gets there, it's too late, and he goes out of bounds. But the ball forced him out of bounds. He threw it too late.
Mark Lee was covered early in the second quarter. 13:36 left in the half.
You know, the Minnesota Vikings are amazing in that they're doing so well. They're 5-2. They've lost Kramer. They've lost Sensor, Mulaney, Nord, Dan Meyer, and now Galbraith did not make the trip, along with Ahmad Rashad, who was their key guy last year. It's amazing they're doing as well without those key people.
Bob Brewer is in as a tight end. Good faking. Down goes Stills at the 26-yard line. Modest yards. Had he taken off and run immediately, he would have picked up big yards. And Mike Douglas made the tackle. 3rd and long, 3rd and 7 coming up.
What he didn't see, LeCount was open downfield, one-on-one on the outside. He should have just thrown the ball, stopped and thrown the ball to LeCount to take the ball down to about the 10-yard line. He elected to run with it, and he does not have that kind of speed. By the time he got around the corner, the whole defense caved in on him.
Prior to today, Dills had run 8 times and averaged only 1.3 yards. He has completed 51% of his passes, 4 touchdowns before today, and 7 interceptions. Extra backs are in there, Lewis and Hood for the Packers on 3rd and 7. Wide open and held and dropped. The rule is incomplete. Incomplete is the call. Off the hands of McCullum, who very well could have caught that for 1st and goal.
Yeah, those are the kind you have to catch in traffic between the linebackers and the defensive backs. Here again, the Green Bay Packers are stunning. Open up a big lane for him to throw the ball. McCullum should have made the catch. He bobbled it and falls incomplete. But he was surrounded by about 3 different people, and maybe that's why he dropped it.
Mike Douglas was there to pull him down.
But Sam is a very sure-handed receiver, and normally he makes those kind of catches.
Well, this would be surprising if Ricardo can kick this one 44 yards into the wind. He is 15 out of 16. I'll be darned. He made it 44 yards, and that makes it 10-0. Ricardo has really been something for the Vikings. Well, Gary Lewis was trying to block that field goal try, but he was taken down by one of the linemen of Minnesota. Meanwhile, here is...
It was Tim Irwin, number 76. He went right after him. Watch him flipping. If you can see him in the picture, there he goes over the top. And Tim Irwin that time made a beautiful block on Lewis, who was trying to block the kick.
Here is Ricardo to kick it off now with the Vikings leading 10-0. Harlan Huckabee is the deep man, and he takes it on the 11. Tried to cover at the 20-yard line. Did he get it?
Yeah, I think he did.
Got it back at the 20-yard line with 12:28 left in the half. Well, we're at the halfway point of the NFL season here today, and next Sunday, some good action. Dallas against the Giants, or Minnesota at St. Louis. It all starts at 12:30 Eastern Time with the NFL today. The second half of the doubleheader, the Rams against the Dolphins, or you'll be watching Green Bay at Minnesota. Excuse me, at Cincinnati. The Green Bay starts at their 20. Now they have the win. Ellis in the backfield carrying the ball. Look out. And it was Rufus Bess hauling him down. He got some help from Tommy Hannon. But a worthwhile gain by Gary Ellis. Bess stayed right with him. There's Ellis out of Missouri.
Scott Studwell got penetration. Looked like he should have had him in the backfield, but missed the tackle, number 55, and he was able to get a little bit more yardage out of the play than we thought he would. Specifically, he got 5.
Studwell goes out as the extra back comes in. John Swain is into the game. Epps is a wide receiver for Green Bay. Look out, and Dickey could not avoid the rush. Chasing through there was Doug Martin, and Dickey almost got away from him. And the linebacker Blair was also there. Martin and Blair. What a pair.
That's the key. That's the key, Jack. They have to be able to block those people, and they didn't on that last particular play. And the important thing is that Dickey does not move that well, and so it's important that he has plenty of time to step and throw. When you disturb the rhythm, it's a problem.
That was the second time that Dickey had been sacked. It's 3rd down and 9. First down, Green Bay. That was Ellis. That was the sort of clutch catch he made last Monday night against the Redskins.
But he got rid of the ball quickly that time. And there's another blitz on the play. There you see Blair coming up the middle. But he steps and throws and hits right inside to Ellis. Licks the linebacker. And takes the ball up the field in good shape.
That was on 3rd and 9. Joey Browner made the tackle with Rufus Bess on Ellis. The ball is at the Green Bay 37.
In the first quarter, Minnesota had the ball 10 times on 1st and 10, ran it 8 and threw 2. Green Bay was 4 and 4. They had it 8 times.
First down call and a first down pass. Screen, one-man screen. Good play, right? Ivory. He is down into Viking territory at the 48-yard line. Chased down and brought down by Tommy Hannon.
This is a good play against a team that plays the zone as much as Minnesota. The screen pass, the linebackers get good depth, throws the ball to the outside, good block out in front. Ivory does a good job of running inside, a good block out in front by number 68, it looked like, 68, Craig Cook. A beautiful block, and they take the ball down to about the 48 for another first down.
10 and a half left in the half, 10-0 in favor of Minnesota. First down at the Viking 48, and we'll listen to Lynn Dickey. Screen it back here to Kaufman. He's in trouble. And they lost about 4 yards on the play, and they didn't fool anybody. Tommy Hannon was there. Studwell was there. And they had help.
You could see that thing coming. It was a misdirection play from a rollout, but the Minnesota Viking guys really did a good job of staying at home and reading the play and getting involved in the action. They came in real well. Studwell, specifically number 55, and also number 65, Charlie Johnson, were right there to make the reception.
They practice all week on that play, and then it doesn't work. Second down and 14. 9 and a half left in the half. Extra backs are in there for the Vikings. Meade and Epps are in for Green Bay. Flag goes down. He couldn't get back onside. There's the pass to Jefferson. And Browner hauls him out of bounds. Is it Browner or Turner? It's Turner who got him. Martin was first down unless the penalty is against Green Bay.
Martin was offside, I think, on the play, Jack. They'll decline the penalty.
Jefferson was flying as he caught the ball, and they're going to put it down at the Minnesota 35.
Offside, number 79, declined. First down.
Martin was offside, and it's a first down at the Minnesota 35-yard line. 9:18 left in the half. You can tell that the wind makes a difference. Green Bay has it. Start Lewis in motion. He's blocking for Ivory. They thought he saw a hole, turned up, and got about 3 yards on the play.
The Minnesota defense really did a good job of skating on the play. Skating, I mean, they took good pursuit angles. They didn't get penetration. They just slid to the left and were right there when Ivory started to cut upfield. Excellent job on the part of the Minnesota Vikings. I tell you, if I were Green Bay, Jack, I would draw, screen, trap, throw the ball. That's all I would do when I have to win.
Ball is at the Viking 32, second down and 7. Ooh, they didn't take your advice that time, did they? Ivory was met by Matt Blair and Doug Martin. 8.5 left in the half, and third down coming up, 3rd and 5 for the Pack.
Elshire was in there on the play, too, and that was a trap, Jack. They tried to trap inside, but they caved it in good shape, and they didn't block it.
On the third down pass earlier. He's not in there at the moment. Long for Lofton. Couldn't get it coming back. The ball was underthrown. The coverage was by Hannon. And it is 4th down.
They were really trying to get the ball out in the flat to Eddie Lee Ivory, but Bess really put the squeeze out of him and held him. The official didn't see him, and he had to throw the ball downfield with nothing on it.
Oh, that's what he's chirping about, huh?
Yeah, he's really squeaking about that play, and he deserved to squeak because he was really held on the play.
This will be a 48-yard try by Stenerud. It will be his longest of the year if he makes it with a win.
They might even fake it, Jack. You don't know.
Scribner is holding.
They could fake it.
10-0 Minnesota. He kicks a line drive through, and Green Bay is on the board. the score 10-3 with 7:51 left in the half. The longest of the year by Jan Stenerud. Stenerud kicks the field goals. Eddie Garcia kicks off. He's out of SMU. And what a pair the Vikings had back with Redwine and Nelson. I think Redwine wanted to try, but Nelson said, "You better lay low, kid." And it'll come out to the 20-yard line. Minnesota leads by 7. Stram, apropos of what we've been talking about here, Minnesota at their 20, operating into the wind. At both Bob Brewer and Dave Casper, and they're 2 tight ends, and they intend to run the ball.
That's the impression that they create from this formation, and it makes a lot of sense.
7:45 left in the half. Run they do with Brown. He got about 4. He was crushed down by Rich Wingo and Mark Murphy. Here's what the Vikings have done to this point. Started down at their 9 and had to punt. They started from the 25, had to punt. After the interception, they got a touchdown. They started from their 38 and got the field goal. 2nd and 6. Ricky Young checks in for the Vikes. Got away from the linebacker. And then he was brought down by Lachlan, the other linebacker. Mike Douglas slowed him down.
You don't see this very often. Douglas all by himself on the left side. Watching number 53. Gets penetration.
Right between 2 blockers.
Tackled high, slid right down from the shoulder pads to the toes, and missed the tackle. Brown does a good job of running on the outside and really stretched a loss into a play that got him very close to the line of scrimmage.
And it brings about 3rd down and 1 as a result. We have 6:20 left in the half. Vikings lead 10-3. Very tight formation.
Looks like something left. No, it's off now with motion.
And Brown gets a 1st down. And he moves across the 35 to the 36. Mike Douglas, another tackle, number 53.
It looks like they're cross-blocking on the right side, too, with Riley and Ho. Blocking on the right side with the tackle, Huff, the guard, and Riley doing a good job on that side.
Ball at the Viking 36, a 1st down. They haven't thrown on this series of downs. Then Nelson checks back in. Fake to him. Pass wide open, drop at midfield. Terry LeCount had to go off his hands as he spun back to get it. That was a good call on 1st down, wasn't it?
There was a misdirection play again. They're doing a lot of that all afternoon, faking one way and going another. Had a one-on-one with LeCount on the left corner, Lee, and he made the catch, Jack, but he dropped it as he hit the turf.
5.5 precisely left in the half. 2nd down and 10. Vikings 10, the Packers 3. Was 10-0 at one time.
You know, one thing that's very important when you throw into the wind, Jack, you ought to keep the ball on the outside between the numbers and the sideline, because you throw it in the middle, any deflection and any badly thrown ball is usually intercepted.
Out of the I formation. Pretty good faking by Nelson, who then caught the ball for a 1st down and more. Pretty good fake. You don't see very good faking in the National Football League, to tell you the truth. But that time, Dills and Nelson pulled it off pretty well.
Douglas again misses a tackle in the open field. Watch him. He throws to the other side, and Douglas, there he is, has a chance to make the tackle and slides right down to the toes again and misses. And he's finally knocked out of bounds by number 29, Mike McCoy. But again, a misdirection play, and the ball was thrown right about on the numbers, which is a good place to throw the football.
Nelson has averaged 4.7 per rush. Prior to today, he had caught 18 passes, and he is full speed, hale and hearty, and one of the best backs in the league these days. And here comes the other half of that combination, Ted Brown, for 9 or 10 yards. Before Laughlin, the linebacker, tackled him. Brown, the last couple couple of weeks has had an ankle injury that has slowed him down considerably. That's why Galbraith got a chance to play. Now Galbraith is out. Fortunately for Minnesota, Brown is 100%. Let's see about the Bears still hanging on to their lead over the Eagles in the second quarter. The Jets are the first to score. There's a long run by Harper of more than 70 yards. A field goal puts Detroit on the board, but they still trail 14-3 against the Redskins. And let's see if this is a first down. It was a first down run to the 35 by Ted Brown. More scores, scoreless in the second quarter, New England and Buffalo. And after Cincinnati went out in front, Cleveland tied it up 7-7 in the second quarter. And after Houston went out in front, Kansas City scored. And they're 7-7 in the second quarter. Ball at the Green Bay 35, the first down. First on one end, Dills, who really stood in there, and then Sammy White, who concentrated on the ball, caught it, was blasted, held onto the ball. It's a big first down at the 14 of Green Bay.
Here again, I don't want to belabor the point, but he was able to step and throw, Jack. Good follow through. The ball was beautifully thrown, and Sammy White does an excellent job. Mark Lee, number 22, was man-for-man coverage on the play, and he got the ball right on the money, exactly where it had to be thrown.
You like those former Stanford quarterbacks, don't you?
Well, they come from a passing personality. They do a lot of throwing in college, and so they understand the passing game. And normally, they have done an excellent job in the National Football League. All of the guys who went to Stanford.
Ball is at the 14-yard line. Bill's end zone. Oh, that should have been a touchdown for Minnesota, but Sammy White looked like he had his hands closed. Mark Lee was there covering, and White knew he blew it.
You know what happened on the play, Jack? The wind, it was going right for his hands, and it blew away and hit him on the shoulder pad. Watch it. No, it didn't. I thought it tipped his shoulder pad. He just hit him in the hands, and he dropped it. I thought it might have hit his shoulder pad and bounced off.
And there was a late flag thrown that I didn't see, and they're going to move the ball back against the Vikings. Well, Sammy White doesn't feel so badly now. The ball's at the 24.
Holding, number 34.
The call was against Ricky Young, holding on the play. Stops the clock with 4:29 left in the half, and the ball is at the Green Bay 24, second down and 20.
The Vikings came into the game with 13 sacks, 11 interceptions, 46 penalties, 11 fumbles, and they only lost 4.
Good coverage by Green Bay, led by Ezra Johnson on the run by Darren Nelson.
They're wearing that play out, Jack. They like to run it and run it and run it, a counter play. And that time, the Green Bay Packers really responded very well to it and made the play in the backfield.
No gain, third and 24. 4 minutes coming up. We're in the second quarter. Exactly 4 minutes left in the half. The Vikings lead 10-3 after leading 10-0. And they're trying to sustain this drive. Extra back is Tim Lewis for Green Bay. There's a pass to the sideline, overthrown to McCullum. McCoy was covering. It's fourth down.
See how the wind took the ball that time, Jack? It just sailed, and he tried to throw it quickly, and it looked like he got a little wrist in it and turned the ball, and it flew right out of bounds.
That is third down coming up. Third down and long, third down and 20.
When you throw into the wind, the mechanics of throwing a football have to be very precise, very right. A good wrist, good follow through, or else it's going to take off just like that last one did when he had nothing on it.
You see Dill's figures, 10 out of 17, 1 touchdown.
The middle is open, Jack, if they can get the ball down there someplace.
Dill's trying to throw down the middle. He threw it, and it's caught. And Brown salvaged a little something out of it down to the 20-yard line. That will help the field goal effort. Bills threw that one like a live grenade, didn't he?
I'll tell you, he pulled the pin and let it fly that time, and how he got rid of the ball, I don't know. Really, he was falling backwards and got rid of the ball in beautiful shape.
And Brown was tackled at the 19.
I tell you, you have to be very impressed with Dill so far. 5-year pro, 27 years old from Stanford. Drafted 4 in 1979, 6'1", 195. But he's been impressive. Now watch the right tackle. Tim Irwin blocked inside.
And that ball is blocked. That ball is blocked. Don't guess who got it unless it was Lewis again. It was Lewis.
He got a piece of it.
Boy, he is something. Number 81, watch him.
Middle of the screen, watch him. Look at the time. No, he didn't block it. No, he just missed it. But I tell you what happened, though. He intimidated the kicker. He tried to kick away from him and hooked it and went to the left of the uprights.
He missed from 38 yards, and the ball is at the Green Bay 20. With 2:56 left in the half, and the Pack trailing by 7.
And Minnesota anticipates they're throwing the ball. They're playing with 5 defensive backs, and they run on 1st and 10.
And only a couple of yards for Eddie Lee Ivory. Ivory was stopped by McNeil and Holloway. This is what Green Bay has done thus far. Only a field goal for all of their work, starting at the 22, 45, 18, 32. They had one intercepted. That was by Swain, and that led to a Minnesota touchdown. And they've also had a field goal by Stenerud blocked. We're down to 2-2 left in the half. Strand and Jack Buck with you from Lambeau Field.
They've run 2 good screens. About time for them to run another screen here sometime soon.
Here it is. What do you call it? There goes Ellis. There's a good block. There's another one. Ellis gets a first down, I believe, to the 30-yard line. Let's see where they mark it. And that player made the tackle. You were in the huddle, weren't you?
No, the way they drop, Minnesota I'm talking about, you have to throw more screens. They've thrown this the 3rd one, and all 3 succeeded in being good plays. A good block there by McCarron on number 54, the linebacker, Fred McNeil.
And Ellis did not quite get the first down. It's inches short. It's 2nd down. The clock is stopped with 2:04 left in the half, and we'll have the timeout, of course, at the 2-minute warning.
We haven't seen a reverse, which is very unusual. Every time we see Green Bay, they usually have 1 or 2 reverses run by now.
And Lofton has had a pretty good average running those reverses.
6.2.
But they haven't broken the big one as they usually do.
No, I think teams are more concerned about it, but when you're concerned about the reverses, that means you're staying at home more, so you should be able to run stronger to the point of attack.
It is going to be a 3rd down play because he didn't make the first down. 3rd and inches.
And we might see a play action pass right here too, Jack.
Kitson is in at the right guard spot, leading the play, and a first down for Ivory, though he didn't get much. It'll be first down at the Green Bay 32, tackled by Studwell. 2 minutes left in the half, precisely. And the Vikings, who had the lead 10-0, have the lead now. And Green Bay has the wind at their back in this quarter.
And Minnesota has 6 defensive backs, 1 middle linebacker, and 4 linemen.
Dickey long over the middle and broken up. Well, there's good coverage by the Vikings on Mr. Lofton. Wherever he goes, he attracts a lot of attention. John Swain got a hand on the ball.
Yeah, they had him double covered, but the middle was wide open, and normally he makes those kind of catches. He just missed that one.
And there was a flag to deal with. Apparently it's against Green Bay. And the Vikings will accept the yardage.
Holding, number 67.
The call against Carl Swanke, the left tackle, number 6'7". And it's first down and 20. That's the first penalty against Green Bay today.
They came into the game with 35 penalties.
Philip Epps is in as the 3rd wide receiver. 4-man rush. Pass caught, first down. something, isn't he?
He is really. And the great thing about him is he got hit right about the time he made the catch, and he maintained good possession of the ball. But that's the only place that's open. A double cover on the outside.
Oh, and he's in bounds. He is going to be out at the 1, at the 2. What a big play. Swain was playing right on top of Lofton at the line of scrimmage. He got loose. The ball was in the air. Lofton didn't see it, then turned and boop, there it was. And Willie Teal bumped him out at the 2 after a 52-yard pass play. Dickey right on target. A good reach and a good grab by Lofton. Inbounds. He tried to fake and went back outside. Teal bumped him out at the 2. And it is first and goal, a minute and 37. Watch him again. A good move to shake the defender Best away from him. And then the tackle by Teal. Now Green Bay trying to get in. They have the big back in there, Clark. Here's a pass play. Nope. Incomplete to Clark. He's the rookie from Arkansas. So it's second and goal with 1:33 remaining in the half. A big pass play to James Lofton. Now Clark comes out and Meade, the other big back, goes in. Second and goal from the 2. They do it again. Motion by Meade across to Ivory. Fumble, and Green Bay gets it back at the 5. It came loose, and let's see who has it. Minnesota has the ball. Ivory got hit. Minnesota recovers the fumble. Isn't that something?
It really is something, and I was very surprised. I was very surprised, Jack, that really they didn't throw the ball, especially maybe a play-action pass.
Well, they did on first down, and then they tried the run. And Willie Teal, here's Matt Blair with a big hit. And then Willie Teal, who saved the touchdown with the tackle at the 2, came away with the ball. Number 37.
Did you see where they tackled the hat of the tackler was right on the ball and knocked it right out of there for him? They do a good job. I really think Minnesota does as good a job of scraping the ball loose as any team in the National Football League. They force fumbles.
So Teal recovered. With 1:26 left in the half, the Vikings still lead by 7. Boy, what a cruncher that was for Green Bay. That's what happened this year. You can see that Minnesota is on the plus side with regard to the giveaways and takeaways. And Green Bay before the intermission. Of course, you can't be too sure that Ted Brown is not going to run it out of there. Nelson in this case. You can see him skid and come to a stop on that wet turf as he apparently lost a yard with Rich Wingo tackling him, number 50. And here's the last timeout employed by Green Bay with 1:06 left in the half.
Johnny Gray, number 24, was the reason that play did not succeed. On the strong safety, he came flying through there, got penetration, and forced the play to be a loss rather than a gain. Beautiful play by Johnny Gray, number 24.
Well, as you see, next Sunday is a doubleheader day on CBS Sports, and you'll see either Dallas against the Giants or the Vikings at St. Louis. And then the second half of the doubleheader, the Rams against Miami or these Green Bay Packers playing at Cincinnati. So a doubleheader day next Sunday on CBS TV. Green Bay has start with the snap of the ball. 1:06 left in the half. Give it to Brown. He came across the 11-yard line. Now we have a minute left. And the clock continues to run. Green Bay puts in their kick return team, including Philip Epps. Rich Wingo made that last tackle, number 50, along with Byron Braggs. And this will be a pressure punt by Greg Coleman. As Coleman comes into the game, number 8. He has a cousin who's a baseball player by the name of Vince Coleman. In the minor league, stole 145 bases this year. And the kid Kidd, the youngster out of Florida A&M, where Coleman went to school. Also a good punter. From the end zone, let's see how Green Bay comes after it. They're going to take the penalty. That'll mark half the distance, but they got all the seconds off the clock that they could. So they're down to 18 seconds. Now remember, Green Bay will have no timeouts remaining, but they should be able to run a play or two, or maybe try a long field goal, depending on what happens.
I think
Delay offense, 4th down.
I think it's very important they try to rush this kicker, Jack, with 18 seconds left in the clock. They have to try to make some kind of a big play, and this is a possibility of a big play if they block the kick.
Let's see what happens. First of all, they're going to need a good snap by Jim Huff. Going to draw him offside. Coleman got it away. A flag goes down. They ran into him. So the ball after the fair catch is going to go back to Minnesota. The penalty will be marked off. It'll be 1st down. Minnesota has 3 timeouts left, but they'll just run the clock out and take their 10-3 lead into the dressing room at halftime.
It's worth the gamble. You got nothing to lose at all. With 12 seconds left on the clock, they'll run it out, and that'll be the end of it. But at least you had a chance to make a big play. They made the effort and failed, but at least I think it was the intelligent thing to do.
Had they not run into the kicker, Green Bay would have had the ball at about midfield with 12 seconds left, and they couldn't have done a heck of a lot with that.
Running into the kicker, number 57, 1st down.
Call it running into the kicker rather than roughing the kicker. And it was Mike Curcio, the linebacker, who made contact. And he did get him.
And the reason he did that, really, he took a bad angle. He should have had his body out in front, about 1.5 yards in front of the kicker's foot. He would have had a chance to block it. He got too deep, and for that reason, he kicked it right underneath it, and he roughed the kicker.
Okay, Dills puts it down. Green Bay can't stop the clock, and we have our 10-3 lead here at halftime. For the Vikings, Jarvis red wine. Stop the clock, and we have our 10-3 lead here at halftime. For the Vikings, Jarvis red wine and Darren Nelson. Digging with the wind, Garcia kicks it to red wine about 2 yards deep. He comes out, but not to the 20-yard line. So the coverage was good by Green Bay, and the Vikings will go from their 18-yard line. And we check the halftime stats. What catches your eye there, Hank? A couple of turnovers.
Yeah, turnovers have really been the difference. The Minnesota Vikings have had the ball about 5 minutes more than the Green Bay Packers. They lead in total yards, but basically here's a quarterback scene. Dills 11 of 18 for 137 and 1 touchdown. Dickey 10 of 19 for 197.
Minnesota operates into the wind here in the 3rd quarter. Their 18-yard line. Give to Ted Brown. And Brown comes across the 20. He got about 3, and Braggs made another tackle. Braggs, number 73. He's from Alabama. From the games that we've seen, Hank, he's coming on to be one of the better linemen in the game.
He's getting better and better every week. There's no question about that, Jack, and he's doing a good job here this afternoon. He's big and he's strong and responds very well.
We have a player shaken up over on the other side of the field. Apparently it's Terry LeCount of the Vikings. So we'll take a timeout here with Minnesota out in front by 7.
Toyota is turning the truck world upside down.
And the same in Minnesota, too, where they're sold out for every game. 2nd down. Well, a very fine defensive play being made on McCullum by number 24, Johnny Gray. Gray's timing was exquisite.
Play action fake, and not a very good fake again. Of course, I like to see him fake with the ball rather than the hand, but he's got plenty of time to throw the ball. It's right on the money, but the timing of the hit by Gray was excellent.
Exquisite.
Exquisite. It's too fancy for me, Jack.
14-17 left in the 3rd quarter. The Vikings on top. 10-3, but unless they do something on this 3rd down play, they'll have to kick it away. Tim Lewis is in as the extra Green Bay back. for Brown. He can't get it. Boy, Dills made a pretty good throw under duress. And a big rush was put on by Ezra Johnson. He nailed him just as he threw, but we can see that Dills is a tough cookie.
He is, and he hangs in there tough. He's got a lot of poise, and he's got a good arm. He'd deliver that ball very well, considering the fact he's thrown into that strong wind.
And even then, he overthrew it a bit. Here's Greg Coleman with his third punt of the day. Philip Epps, who already had one touchdown this year on a punt return, is back to get it. Good snap. Plenty of time. A terrible kick. A terrible kick. The ball is at the Green Bay 48-yard line. There's a trick to punting into the wind. And evidently Coleman didn't do it very well that trip. It was only a 27-yard punt.
When you kick it,
There'll be a lot of attention paid to that one. Here is Ellis breaking one tackle and picking up some good yards. Dick Stockton and Tommy Heinsohn will tell you about it next Saturday at 3:45 Eastern Time. It's that time of year. Scott Studwell was the tackler for the Vikes on Gary Ellis. And he picked up 6.
the team that has a win in the fourth quarter, which will be Minnesota, will really have a distinct advantage. That's a very important time to have the win.
Second down and 4. Ivory and Meade in the backfield.
They got a one-on-one on Lofton on the other side there.
Here's a toss to Meade. He dived down to the 37. And he got a first down with that last effort. Fred McNeil, number 54, was the defender. And it is a first down. They have a lot of big backs in this Green Bay backfield. Ivory 214, Ellis 225, Meade 224, Clark 230. Looks like Green Bay has a little something going for them.
Yeah, it's important that they do something about the opportunity they have here, Jack, and do something to momentum.
Good penetration was made by the linebacker Matt Blair. And Studwell and others finished it off. Charlie Johnson is the nose guard in the three-man front of these Vikings, and he can really plug things up, can he?
Well, he's 6'3", 275. When you're that big, you ought to be able to plug him up. 7-year pro, 31 years old, trade from Philadelphia in 1982.
He just got tired of working so hard at Philadelphia for Dick Vermeil.
Yeah, wanted to make a change, and he's a good one.
Second down and 10. No gain on that last play. And intercepted again. For the second time today by Minnesota. This time the other cornerback, Willie Teal, picked it off. And Teal has been a big part of this game.
He threw it behind him is all that happened. He was rolling to his left. He does not throw nearly as well on the move as he does from the pocket. Throws it outside. Look at it. Jefferson's got him beat, but the ball is thrown inside, and he makes the interception.
Lynn Dickey was just intercepted for the second time today, the third Green Bay turnover. The turnover stopped them on the 5, and it stopped this drive. And the tackle was made by Wingo on Ted Brown. Minnesota, prior to today, had been very good in the interception department.
16 interceptions coming into the game.
And then 2 today.
And then they had 25 sacks. Pretty strong.
There was a gain of only 1.5 yards by Ted Brown. There's Bud Grant. He's trying to win his 6th game of the year. His career record is behind Steve Owens now in all-time wins. There goes Darren Nelson outside. The good speed of the linebacker, Mike Douglas, prevented the block. And the ball comes across the 35, and it's going to be third down about 1.5 yards.
Douglas took a good pursuit angle, and had he not taken the correct posture on that play, he'd have been gone for a long gain on that counter play. They continue to run the counter plays, and they're doing a pretty good job with them. They have a good package, a counter play. They give it to the fullback, the first back through, and then also they have a play-action pass from that sequence. So it's a pretty good package, good balance.
And the Packers are playing without George Cumbie. Their inside linebacker was injured during the first half. Third down in the yard. Brown following Ricky Young. And a first down and a flag has been thrown. Mike McCoy made the tackle. The flag came down, but Brown had picked up yardage out to the 48-yard line of the Vikings. And a penalty is going to be against Minnesota. Apparently, after they had done all of the good work, there was a late flag. Apparently, it's going to be against the Vikings. Could it be a holding call? Ricky Young was clearing the path. Ted Brown talks it over with the official. And Rick Young pleads his case.
It didn't look like, judging from the reaction of Ted Brown, he didn't do a very good selling job on what happened.
If the play stands, it's going to be out at the Minnesota 48 or 49. Brown is irate.
Not only that, he's a little disturbed, too.
You better be careful with what he says, because that'll bring another flag down. Penalty all the way back to the 30-yard line.
Helping the runner, number 34.
The call is against Ricky Young for aiding the runner, helping the runner. Watch number 34.
He's the lead back, number 34. Watch this. There he goes through the hole. Gets tangled up, but makes a block and then turns around. I don't know how they could call that play on Ricky Young. No way. That's a bad call. If that's what they called, that's a bad call, Jack.
You could be the official's brother and couldn't make a case for him.
No way. No way that's a penalty.
Well, they moved the ball back to the 28-yard line. They call that aiding the runner. I'll be darned. It's a call that you seldom see or hear. And here's a timeout called by Minnesota, stopping the clock with 11:07 left for Minnesota at their 28. That last call, the penalty was marked off on the spot of the foul, and makes it third down. Third and 9. Bills, who just used the timeout, is back to throw. The defensive man fell down, and that's a first down out near the 45-yard line. Sammy White caught it and was driven back, but that's a first down.
Timmy Lewis fell down, number 26 on the play. He had him man for man, and they don't get a pass rush again. Look at the good passing lane the quarterback has right down the middle. He throws it inside to Sammy White, but again, the key was that Timmy Lewis, number 26, slipped and fell on the coverage.
All of this after the interception by Willie Teal. First down for the Vikings at their own 45. White, as you can see, has caught 4. McCollum to the left, and White to the right. And that's good for 4 yards. To me, it's astounding, Hank, the tackle made by Charles Johnson. If they can line up in a one-back setup, run the ball to Brown straight ahead and make 4, 5, 6 yards as they do.
It just emphasizes what the game is all about, Jack. It's a game of blocking, tackling, and execution. And when the offensive linemen do a good, it doesn't make any difference how many guys you got in the backfield. If the offensive line get a good push, which they're doing on that kind of a play, where that's all that's necessary, the back's going to find running room.
And Brown got 4. It's second and 6. Here's a first down run for Minnesota to the Green Bay 44-yard line. Tackled by Anderson. Here's Brent Musburger.
Jack, all the rain and nasty weather is keeping the scores down around the league. The Jets finally got their second touchdown. They've gone up on Atlanta by 14. Scott Durkin right up the middle. It's 14-zip. Let's go back to Jack and Hank.
Earlier, Harper had run for 78 yards. Then Durkin with a long run, and so the Jets have their lead, and here the Vikings are on the move into the wind here in the third quarter. First down at the Green Bay 44-yard line. Short pass to Darren Nelson, and that's another first down. Inside the 35 to the 34 with Wingo hanging on, and Bill's doing great work.
He really is. I'm really impressed with the way he's playing here this afternoon, and evidently he's played that way in all the games that he started. They're 4-1 with him at the helm at the quarterback, and you have to be impressed with the way this young guy's handling this club.
Down to the Green Bay 34-yard line. 8:20 left in the third quarter. First down run by Darren Nelson. I don't know if Green Bay is just being picked apart by the play calling, or if they're a little tired out there.
No, they're not tired, Jack. They're running a counter play consistently well all afternoon, and there was another counter play in the last one. And Darren Nelson saw the running room, took advantage of it, got up the field as soon as he possibly could, and they pick up another first down. That's all that's happening. They're doing a good job of blocking them up front, talking about the Minnesota Vikings.
Good block. Hamilton, a very good block. Here goes Nelson running right, waits for his blocks, cuts it upfield, and he gets about 4 or 5 yards with that carry. Now we have 7:15 left in the third quarter, and Nelson needs a little breather, equipment repair or whatever. John Anderson made that last tackle. Nelson got 5 with that run.
On this kind of a day, Jack, it's very important that you are able to play well defensively, because your offense is having a little problem, and you got to win 2 of the 3 battles to win the war. You got to win 2 out of the 3, and so far Green Bay is not doing very well on defense.
Ted Brown squeezed down inside the 15. That's another first down. Ezra Johnson made the tackle. First down at the 12. Fans don't like the way their team here, Green Bay, is unable to stop the Minnesota attack.
And if the Minnesota Vikings score going into this strong wind, boy, it's going to be tough for Green Bay to come back in the fourth quarter, because they're going to have to rely on the passing game. It'll be tough to throw into that wind.
Brown is way over 100 yards, 133 yards. Down to the 5-yard line, and it's going to be second down and 3, and you can hear the restless fans here in Green Bay as the Vikings are just tearing them up. Why is all this happening like this, Hank? That was offensive line.
That was a trap play. Jim Huff, the left guard, trapping on the play. They created good running room for the back, Ted Brown, to go right through there, but the key was a good block by Jim Huff, number 51, the left guard.
The ball is at the 5. Laughlin made that last tackle. Brown again trying for the first down. He's very close to it. See what kind of forward progress they give him. It very well could be, and it is, first and goal. He got as far as the 1-yard line. I didn't realize it with the good thrust that he had.
Well, they got a good shove. They got a good push that time by the offensive line. And the big thing right now, Jack, it's very obvious that the offensive line of the Minnesota Vikings are controlling the line of scrimmage. You hear that expression so many times, but that's what it takes, and that's what they're doing.
All of this after the interception by Willie Teal. Now the ball is at the 1. Gets a touchdown. Ted Brown gets his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. Wingo tackled him, but Brown just carried him into the end zone. And then makes it 16-3. Pretty good drive.
Here again, good movement on the part of the offensive line. Just enough of a crack for Ted Brown to make the seam and get in for the touchdown, and they get another 6 points with 4:42 left in the third quarter. And again, the impressive thing about the fact that they were able to do this going into this win.
Ricardo hasn't missed all year in the extra point department. There's a discussion amongst the officials. Steve Dills will hold the ball.
Illegal procedure. Number 24 went off the field on the wrong way. It'll be declined. Touchdown.
You know, when you go off the field, you have to go off on your side of the field only. You cannot go out through the end zone or off on the opponent's side of the field. An extra point try with Dills holding. It's 16-3 in favor of the Vikings. Extra point is good. We have 4:42 left in the third quarter.
7-14. Boy, that's strong. Especially going into the wind, Jack.
Danny Ricciardo will kick it off, and the deepest man for Green Bay is Harlan Huckleby. He has averaged 19 yards plus per kickoff return. Ricciardo kicks a floater, and it is picked up by Gray. He's across the 20 to the 25 and out to the 30-yard line. Johnny Gray returned that kick. No chance for Ricciardo to get that ball down to the goal line. Next Sunday is a doubleheader day on CBS Sports. Dallas against the Giants. These Vikings travel to St. Louis, and then the second game of the doubleheader. The action you will see will either be the Rams in Miami or Green Bay at Cincinnati, and Dan Marino's having another good day for the Dolphins.
He's really come on like gangbusters, hasn't he, since he's taken over the responsibility of the #1 quarterback for the Miami Dolphins.
There's a first down call for the Packers. They stay on the ground to Ivory, outside, inside, 5-6 yards. Eddie Lee Ivory got a half a dozen. 4:20 left in the third quarter. Blair Martin made the Minnesota tackle. Blair 59. Doug Martin number 79.
A lot of people are wondering why the Green Bay Packers are not throwing the ball more than they are. And you know what's happening, Jack? On 1st and 10, the Minnesota Vikings are playing with 5 defensive backs, and so they figure they can run against those 5 defensive backs, and I'm sure that's why they haven't thrown the ball more than they have in the second quarter.
And they have the wind here in the third quarter. Talking about Green Bay. They start Meade in motion, a toss to Ivory. Ivory got a first down, out to the Green Bay 45. They were stopped on interception the last time. They've turned the ball over 3 times. Aside from those turnovers, it's an even game. Willie Teal made that tackle. Teal and McNeil.
And really the only difference in the game, really, other than the turnovers, is the fact that Minnesota has been able to run the ball better than the Green Bay Packers.
Ball at the Green Bay 46. 3:15 left in the third quarter. Clock running. Lofton to the right. Jefferson left. Any moment they're liable to strike with those fine wide receivers. First down run by Gary Ellis down to the Minnesota 42. That's why they're able to run, Hank, because of the extra back in there and the lack of that linebacker.
Well, they're playing now. On this kind of a play, it really doesn't make that much difference. He just did a good job of running. The linebackers overran the play, and Ellis took advantage of it in good shape, but the linebackers have to maintain inside leverage on the back to make sure he doesn't cut back. They overran the play. He cut back, and that's why he was able to make the big game.
And an Invest made the tackle. Green Bay first down.
Look at all the room on the left side, Jack.
Let's see if he looks over there. Dickey throws long, open, inside the 20-yard line. That's the first one that Kaufman has caught today, isn't it?
It is. It is, and they wound up double covering the outside receiver that time, Jefferson. The tight end was 1 for 1. Here we see it. The linebackers blitzing. Studwell in the middle. It's a play-action fake. He sets up nicely, throws right down the middle, right down the hash mark on the numbers, and he makes the catch, Kaufman, and they pick up the first down on about the 17-yard line.
Well, as Minnesota rolled down the field for a touchdown, Green Bay's going back the other way, just as efficiently. Have a first down at the 16.
Now they're playing with 4 defensive backs and 3 linebackers.
And Dickey's going to throw. First down, well, it may not be a first down. Very close to it. The pass to Kaufman again, who finally learned that the tight end was in the game.
Well, but you see, but before they had 5 defensive backs, they ran. Now they got 4 defensive backs and they're throwing the ball, and it's a good scheme. They know what they're doing. They throw the ball to Kaufman on his own defense, and he's the guy that's open. And he takes the ball down to about the 8.
They have marked the ball down now at the Minnesota 7, second down and 1.
See, now they got 4 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers, and 4 defensive backs.
Kaufman has caught 3 passes, 2 in a row. Second down. Looking for 6. No, as Lofton had to go too deep over Willie Teal. Teal's 5'10", and Lofton is 6'3".
But Teal knocked it right out of his hand, Jack. He had it. It looked like there was a blitz. 1-for-1 coverage. They're working on Teal. Watch this now. And he knocked it right out of his hand.
After he had it, Lofton had it, and Teal made him cough it up. And so it's 3rd down and 1 at the 7.
He was in the process of bringing the ball down, and on the way down, he knocked it right out of there. Great play, really, by Willie Teal.
44 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. They'll try to get the first down now. And they get it with Ivory to the 5. Ivory's the one who fumbled down at the 5-yard line earlier. It'll be 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. They may have to try to get in down at the other end of the field because we have only 25 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. This is a good game, isn't it?
It really is a good game. It certainly is.
1st and goal at the 5. Now they don't have to snap the ball, but they could. We're down to 5 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Here's Dickey to Ivory, and no gain, and then he got about a half a yard. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 4 or 5-yard line after we march down to the other end of the field. Quarter, Hank Stram and Jack Buck with you from Green Bay, Lambeau Field. 2nd and goal for the Packers. It's imperative they get in. They trail 17-3. In motion. Dickey rolling, throwing, Ellis. And the pass is a touchdown to John Jefferson. They sent Ellis and Jefferson into the same area.
They had 3 people on the right side, and how he got the ball, I tell you, it was a beautiful pass. A beautiful pass.
That changes the complexion of this one.
Defense declined, touchdown.
Defensive holding was called, and it was declined. Well, that touchdown drive came after the...
There's always a lot of excitement when you kick extra points against Minnesota. They block so many of them. You got to get the ball up fast.
Stenerud is trying to do it. He got it up, and he got it through. Makes it 17-10.
Here's a replay. Watch. They sent a man in motion across the formation. Dickey rolls to his right. He's got 3 people out there. Look at the room he's got. The linebacker, Blair, is going into the picture. Boy, I tell you, he threw the ball exactly where it had to be thrown, and Ellis was in the wrong spot, ran the wrong pattern.
Teams with impressive drives during that 3rd quarter. Although Green Bay scored the touchdown in the first 4 seconds of the last quarter, and kicking off is Garcia.
I wouldn't kick the ball up in the air this time, Jack. I'd try to kick a knuckleball and make him feel it on the ground.
It is Redwine and Nelson back. And this ball is going to be returned. And it is Nelson picking his way across the 25. And let's watch that last Green Bay touchdown one more time. There was a lot of traffic in the corner.
They roll out to the right. They got 3 receivers out there, and Ellis, number 31, is in the wrong spot. He's very close to Jefferson, and one bullet would have got both of them. But he still made the catch in spite of the wrong route by Gary Ellis, number 31.
Robert Brown made the tackle on the kickoff at the Minnesota 26. And there's Johnny Jefferson, John Jay. He caught the touchdown pass. Let's see if the Vikings can crank it up again. Nelson. He is buried before he got to the 30-yard line.
It looks like the defense is a little bit more inspired than they have been. They responded very well to that counter play and made the tackle. A lot of green shirts around the ball carrier, specifically 7.
including Mike McCoy, who led the charge, along with Ezra Johnson. Well, what has happened on first down today? Green Bay in the first half has picked up big yards. In the second half, even more. We have an injury to contend with. That's Mike McCoy, who made the tackle, who is stretched out down there in the field. It'll be feels good today here in Green Bay. The temperature is in the mid-40s. Vikings trying to get their offense rolling. Second down and 4 from the 29-yard line. Let's start with some scores of other games. The Bears were ahead, have been ahead throughout, lead 7-3 in the fourth quarter. And the Jets, with 3 touchdown runs, lead Atlanta in the third quarter, 21-0. Washington by 21 over Detroit in the third quarter. And it is New England ahead of Buffalo 7-0 in the third quarter. Brent mentioned that the scores were way down, but Cincinnati is back ahead of Cleveland after 3 sight touchdown passes. Kansas City hangs on to their 10-7 lead in the third quarter over Houston. Miami, Marino having a good day, leading 21-0 at the half. Third down and 3 here. Bills waited for someone to break loose and then threw the ball intended for Sammy White, incomplete. And Green Bay would score just a moment ago, about a minute and a half ago, is going to get the ball back again. I think Sammy White fell down.
They got 5 receivers out on the play, nobody in the backfield this time, and Sammy White is coming across the middle. He has to stop. The ball is thrown way over the top. He falls down, but it didn't make any difference. The ball was thrown poorly and went right way over the top of his head.
This is Greg Coleman to punt. He's kicking with the wind. And still not too hot a kick. A Minnesota roll, however, and out of bounds inside the 35. The Green Bay is in a pretty good spot to try to roll down for the tying touchdown. Guys in our CBS truck, guys and gals, are hoping for a little overtime here today.
Yeah, they really are.
13-17 left in the game. The Packers are back at their 33-yard line, trailing by 7. They've had 3 turnovers. Oh, what a big rush that was. Chasing through is Doug Martin. He just crunched his way in there, and they sacked Dickey for the 4th time today.
They didn't have anybody on the line of scrimmage at the tight end position. They had 2 backs and 3 wide receivers, and there's a leak inside. Number 79, Doug Martin, comes through there and makes the tackle on Lynn Dickey.
At the 25, a loss of 8.
2nd and 18, and that's a bad way to start a drive when you're trying to get back in the game.
It's a situation like these, Hank, that lead to turnovers. Second down. Four-man rush. Dickey has time, steps up, and incomplete. There goes a penalty flag. They finally threw it. It was Jefferson, the intended receiver, and the field judge had to come all the way from the end of the field to throw the flag. He was the last one to throw it, and the call is going to be against Minnesota. Either Turner or Studwell. Let's see who did it.
Watch Jefferson come down the field.
Pass interference, number 27, first down.
It was John Turner. Watch it.
Yeah, no question about that. No question about that one.
They gave him a little hip. Down came the flag, and that's a first down at the Green Bay 36. 12:44 left in the game. That's the 5th time they've sacked him, and that's Martin again, and that was with a straight 4-man rush, Hank.
Yeah, but he was trying to roll out to her left and throw a screen back to the right side, and the people over there, 75, specifically, Reedy did a terrific job of reading the play. Randy Holloway, he was right out there to make the play. He was a policeman patrolling the area on the play, and that's why he really got a shot right on the top of the head. It's a wonder he didn't get called.
They were going to try to get it out to Mike Meade. Holloway plugged it up, and Doug Martin made the sack.
Okay, Minnesota really done a good job on those counter screens.
And it's second down and 20.
This is where you got to be careful that you don't get one picked off.
A diving catch and good yards by Jefferson, and he picked up 18. It's going to be 3rd and 2. Boy, that guy, fellas like Jefferson and Lofton can really bring you back in a hurry.
Yes, they can. But here again, the key was there was no pass rush. Look at now. Watch Dickey step and throw. When he can do that, throwing into the wind, he's terrific. If he doesn't have good footing and the step and throw rhythm, he doesn't throw the ball nearly as well. Nor does any quarterback. But that was right on the money inside to John Jefferson. But the key was that he didn't have any kind of a pass rush.
It is 3rd down and 2. In the backfield, fake to him on 3rd down, and a 1st down pass. Was that man eligible? It was Kitson, number 64. Evidently, he had reported to the official, and there was a tackle eligible play on 3rd down.
He was playing tight end, Jack. He was playing tight end.
But he had reported.
Yeah, had a report, but he's a good athlete. They like him very much, and all he did was he was looking downfield, but he dumped the ball. He wasn't trying to hit him, but he had to dump it off because he was open on the play. They had good coverage downfield on a play-action pass.
That keeps the drive going with 10:35 left in the game. 1st down at the Viking 47. Here's Eddie Lee Ivory running with the ball, corralled by Martin again. Doug Martin has made numerous tackles in the past few moments of this game, number 79.
Boy, he is really strong. He's not overly large. He's 6'3", 255, a 4-year pro from the University of Washington. Drafted 1 in 1980, but he's been gangbusters in the middle of that defensive line so far.
He had come into the game with 3.5 sacks. And he has some more today. 2nd down and 9. The blitz is on. And the pass was nowhere near Lofton. Doug Martin was putting pressure on again.
He really was putting pressure, and again, Dickey had to throw the ball before he had a chance to get set up and throw the ball. Just threw it away, and right before he got hit by Martin.
Now Green Bay is faced with a 3rd down and 9 at the 46 of the Vikings. With 9:47 remaining in the game. Minnesota leading 17-10. Epps comes to the left. Along with Jefferson, Lofton to the right. Dickey throws, and it was bumped away by Rufus Bess. Bess got a hand on it, intended for Ivory. It's 4th down, and Green Bay is not going to gamble. They have ample time. They're going to punt the ball.
They had man-for-man coverage. Bess covering Ivory on the play, and he really did a super job of making the coverage work. He tried to force it in there, and luckily, anytime you throw the ball into that many people and it's deflected, there's always a chance for a ricochet ball and an interception. He was lucky that it didn't happen on that play.
Rufus Bess is back to get this punt. In fact, Minnesota has 3 deep men, so we may see a reverse. Here's Scribner trying to kick the ball toward the sideline, and a fair catch is called for and covered at about the Minnesota 17-yard line. To the clock. 1st down at their 17. Ted Brown, Casper in motion. Pass to Brown. Tough to bring down. He comes out to the 30 for a 1st down. The tackle by John Anderson. They sent Casper in motion one way, slipped Brown out in the other direction.
They faked to Brown. They love to run that play going in for touchdowns, and they liked that time they ran it deep in their own territory. They faked to Brown and roll to the right and then throw back to Brown, and normally the coverage leaves, and he was wide open on the play and got the ball out of soup, so to speak, and good field position, 1st and 10, Minnesota. But they liked that play and executed very well.
9 minutes left, clock running. And another 5-yard pickup by Ted Brown. Tackle made by the nose man, Charlie Johnson.
And again, the counterplay, same thing. Riley, left tackle, number 78, is pulling on the play, leading the back, and the back takes advantage of any kind of a seam he sees. There's Bud Grant looking on from the sideline and taking information from Jerry Burns, who is calling the plays from upstairs.
Second down and 5. 8:15 left. He moves some people, doesn't he? He got 3 or maybe 4. It's going to be third down about 1.5 yards.
Another trap. Jim Huff, number 51, pulling on the play, and they take it right up the middle.
And Charlie Johnson made another tackle for the Packers. 7:45 left. Third down and 1 yard. Put in the 2 tight ends.
This Minnesota team is very unpredictable. We might see a play-action pass here, Jack. You never know.
That third down play didn't make it. Did not make it. And so let's see what the Vikings are inclined to do. Probably send their punting team out there.
Remember what they did at Cleveland the first game of the season? We thought sure they were going to punt the ball, and they ran it. They got to punt it here, though.
They had put Hoffman out on the wing. David Hoffman trying to help with the blocking, but nothing cleared out. And John Anderson led the defensive charge for Green Bay. And Coleman punting with the wind. With 7 minutes left, will be kicking to Philip Epps, who's inside his 20-yard line. So we've had an exchange of punts here lately.
Coleman came into the game with a 42-yard average and hasn't kicked nearly that well here this afternoon.
He's due for a good one. And he does get a good one. Epps driven back to the 15-yard line, runs back to the 10, and did not ever get back to the 15. So Green Bay has 6 minutes and 36 seconds left. They trail by 7. The tackle by Dennis Johnson, and the Pack had the ball. They had to punt. They hope for better results with this possession, starting at their 13-yard line. Flags are down. Dickey throws, and it's incomplete.
James White was offside on the play, though, Jack, 72, and they'll have a chance to accept the penalty and get 5 yards on the play. James White, 72, offside.
John Swain got his hand on the ball, and the penalty will be accepted by Green Bay, if we're correct here.
Offside, number 72, first down.
Those officials are so used to saying holding that Freddie Wyant couldn't restrain himself. It is first down and 5. 6:32 left in the game.
They're playing without a tight end. They're playing with 2 backs and 3 outside receivers.
Dickey throws, and it's caught. And both feet were inbounds by Philip Epps. Haven't seen much of him, what with Lofton and Jefferson. First down.
The key again, he has time to throw. Steps and throws on the outside. I know you're here, probably get tired of hearing me say that, but that's the key. It's a very important factor. So many times you see the flight of the ball and wonder what happened, but it's always because the quarterback throws the ball poorly because he doesn't throw with his feet and his legs, and that time he did it and got it right on the money.
Out to the Packer 30-yard line.
Blitz.
Here comes Ellis. 5 yards, 7 yards. Gary Ellis with a big run, and the pull down by Joey Browner. They like Browner, Hank. He was their #1 pick. A very talented family, aren't they?
Yeah, they better like him. Drafted a #1 like they did. He's 6'2", 205, a rookie 23 from USC, but he's a good athlete. And as you mentioned, they like him very much.
We're down to exactly 6 minutes left, and now the clock running. Browner got 3 yards, 7 yards, and it's 2nd and 3. Here's a first down run by Mike Meade out to midfield. The place is rocking.
And they ran right inside of Elshire, number 73, the defensive right end, against a team that uses so much zone defense. There you see it. Good blocking. Eddie Lee Ivory had a chance to make a block but missed completely. But anytime you have a team that plays a zone, Jack, you ought to be able to screen. They can't screen, you ought to draw. They've abandoned the screens and are drawing very well now.
Ball at midfield, 5:15 left, clock running. First down. Look out. And they nail Lynn Dickey for a 10-yard loss. Neil Elshire got in there, number 73. He's their $100 man.
Yep, they got him on waivers for $100 from the Washington Redskins 2 years ago.
And they nailed Dickey again.
Number 6 sacks. Number 6 in this game. Boy, that's strong. You know, Elshire had a great game last week against the Houston Oilers. He had 6 tackles, 9 assists, 3 sacks, a block pass, a fumble recovery, and a forced fumble. That's the only thing he did last week.
Second down and 20. Pass was up a bit too high as he tried to get it out there, and it was well covered. John Turner was there. And the pass was intended for the rookie out of Arkansas, Jesse Clark, number 33. It is third down and 20. Here's a critical play.
Boy, the reaction to the pass was excellent that time by Turner, number 27. Got in there just in time to knock the ball loose.
Uh-oh, look at the clock now. 4:35 is all that is left in this game. Third and 20. It here, and then they punt. They may never get the ball back. Sensational. First down at the 39. Philip Hicks. Sensational.
You don't make him any better than that. I'll tell you, young kid Epps, number 85. Watch the top of the screen. He's got a guy right on him. Gets off the line of scrimmage. He gives him a little shove. Look at him. Makes an inside move and then breaks outside on number 29, John Swain. Sensational catch, just sensational.
It was third and 20, and they got 21 yards on the play.
A lot of times you see guys run the pattern, they wind up with 19, Jack. A great move by Epps.
First down. A flag is down. A flag has been thrown away from the play where Jefferson was tangling with Turner. Meanwhile, Ellis caught the ball, and we'll see who the flag is against.
It might be on Jefferson running right into the defensive backs.
No, it's defensive holding. So they're going to decline the penalty and take the play down to the Minnesota 23 and another first down.
Holding, number 27, declined, first down.
So Gary Ellis' catch of the ball stands down to the 23 as Green Bay tries to tie it up.
This would be a good time for a draw play, Jack. They ran a couple of them early, very successfully. They were expecting a rush. It could be a good time for a draw.
Green Bay started back at their 13-yard line.
They're playing with 6 defensive backs.
Dickey throws it into the end zone. Lofton. Incomplete. Lofton with great body control. Stop, turn, jump, and then couldn't hang on to it with Tommy Hannon, number 45, covering.
And you talk about a good release. Dickey, again, was about to get a shot from the right up front that time. He got rid of the ball just in time, and it's amazing he threw it so well.
There's a flag down on the field, which we didn't see immediately. And it's going to be against Green Bay. That was first and 10, and now it's going to be first and 20 at the 33.
Holding, number 61, first down.
David Drexler holding on the play, number 61, the left guard.
Well, they overcame a sack a moment ago. It's first and 20 at the 33. Intercepted in the end zone by Swain. His second of the day, and his fourth of the year, by the way. And the fourth turnover for Green Bay comes with 3:30 left in the game.
No chance in the play, Jack. He delivered the ball. He saw pressure up the middle. He delivered the ball downfield, trying to get it outside to Jefferson, but no chance whatsoever. Throw it way inside, and the only guy that was open in the area was really John Swain, number 29, who made the interception.
It was intended for Epps.
Yep, sorry, it was Epps.
Well, we mentioned that earlier, Hank, on the holding call, 1st and 20. That's when a lot of turnovers come because teams try to chew it all up in one throw. And they went for the bundle into the end zone and didn't get it. Now 3:30 left in the game.
They got a lot of time yet, though, Jack. Thinking still they got to do a good job defensively.
And they did that time as the running play gathered about 3 yards. Tonight on CBS, we hope you're comfortable wherever you are, and we'll be able to enjoy 60 Minutes. Alice, followed by One Day at a Time, the Jeffersons, Goodnight Beantown, and Trapper John, MD. A special edition of CBS News this evening will be presented, dealing with the Beirut situation. And it will follow the prime time schedule on CBS. 2nd and 7. Here's a reverse. And Leo Lewis got only to the 25-yard line. Lewis has played very little today. He's a scooter out of Missouri. He was tackled by Mike McCoy, and it's going to make it 3rd down and 5 with 2:30 left in the game. And now the clock is stopped because of a Green Bay injury. Mike McCoy is shaken up for the second time today after making that tackle. It stops the clock with 2:29 left and 3rd and 5 confronting Minnesota, with the Vikings leading 17-10. Vikings, by the way, as we head down the stretch here, have 2 timeouts remaining, and Green Bay has 3. Well, 4 turnovers, along with a half a dozen sacks of Lynn Dickey. And that's why the Vikings are where they are on the scoreboard.
And
next Sunday on CBS Sports, Dallas against the Giants. These Vikings travel to St. Louis to play, and it's a doubleheader day on CBS. And the second half of the doubleheader will find the Rams at Miami. Miami might be catching Buffalo today in the standings. They start the clock.
First timeout.
And now Green Bay calls a timeout.
that was a good move, Jack, because you still have to win.
Here we go. 3rd and 5 at the 25 of Minnesota. A toss to Brown and a good tackle, and the Vikings are going to have to put it away. You saw Johnny Gray being spoken to on the sideline. I'll be darned, he was the one who got the ball. They probably told him, you follow Brown wherever he goes. Huddle of Green Bay. So we may see something specific on this punt return. Greg Coleman kicking with a wind, got off a good one last time.
One thing they won't do is rush the kicker, Jack. They can't afford to rough the kicker and let Minnesota maintain possession of the ball. They got to be careful here. They don't.
They stay away, and the punt hangs high. The coverage is pretty good. Epps takes it, and here's a reverse. We thought maybe something special would happen, but it didn't work, and the tackle is made back at the 22-yard line. So they reversed on the punt return, and they tried to get something going. But the tackle was made by Dennis Folks, the linebacker. And Green Bay has 1 minute and 48 seconds left. They have 2 timeouts and 80 yards to travel as they trail by 7.
And they have plenty of time. And that kick was 50 yards, a good one. It was a boomer.
And the coverage was terrific. Cincinnati beat Cleveland today. Dickey. And Ellis is out near midfield. Well, Gary Ellis makes some clutch catches, doesn't he? The tackle made by Tommy Hannon, and they put the ball down at the Green Bay 48. 1.5 minutes left, clock running.
That was the same play he ran Monday night to set up that last drive.
first down to the 40-yard line. Ellis again. Looks like they're playing
Second timeout.
catch in the top. Here, Green Bay trails by 7. 1:15 left.
They got 6 defensive backs, 1 linebacker, 4 linemen.
They tried the running play, and they lost a yard on the play. Randy Holloway was the tackler, number 75, and the clock runs down to the 1-minute mark as Green Bay lines up in a hurry. They cannot squander their last time out. They've got to get into the end zone. 55 seconds left, 2nd and 11. To the sideline to Ellis, but he is out of bounds, at least looking at it from a Green Bay viewpoint, stopping the clock with 49 seconds. And it's going to be 3rd down and long. It was Joey Browner doing the job on Gary Ellis that time. Well, this play calling has backfired here in the last moment, hasn't it, for Green Bay? They tried the run, and if it didn't work, you're going to be stuck, and they're stuck right now.
Well, they ran the draw play, and it looked like Ellis hurried the play too much, and that's why they didn't make more yardage on it than they did.
It is 3rd down, 3rd and 9. Dickey airs it out to the sideline. Epps came back and made another sensational catch over John Swain. The clock is running. We're down to 30 seconds. 1 timeout remaining for Green Bay. They have the ball down at the 14-yard line. They're down to 22 seconds. Dickey wastes it down and throws it away and stops the clock with 19 seconds left in the game. Boy, that Epps has made a couple of dandies here. And we're going right down to the wire. The Vikings have been ahead throughout.
What?
Let's watch that last catch by Epps.
Watch Epps. Epps releases downfield, and watch Swain. He never sees the ball at all. Watch 29. He never sees it at all. Look at it. He's looking at never looks at all, never sees it. Now he takes a look back, tries to find a receiver, and loses sight of the receiver and the ball. And and the great thing he does, really, is keep him in bounds. He does not let him get out of bounds, which is a good play on the part of Swain.
Okay, it's 2nd down and 10 from the 14. There's contact made. Now let's see whether the offensive man moved. Who's it going to be against? It's going to cost somebody 5.
Looked like it might have been Holloway.
That'll take the ball to the 9. It was Holloway who made contact. And of course, we still have 19 seconds left in the game.
Offside, number 79, 2nd down.
Green Bay trying to send this one into overtime. It is 2nd down and 5 at the 9. Green Bay has 1 timeout left. They trail by 7. 19 seconds remaining. A quickie, end zone, and Epps couldn't get it. 16 seconds left.
He threw that one too soon that time, Jack. Had he thrown it on the money, it would have been a touchdown. Epps had him beat. Willie Teal was covering on the play, number 37.
Now it is 3rd down. So Green Bay is down to their last 2 downs. They're at the 9. They need 5 for a first down. They need 9 for the touchdown. 16 seconds left. Lofton to the right. Epps and Jefferson to the left. Are down. A flag has been thrown away from the play. It was intended for Lofton, covered by Hannon, and a flag came down away from the play, and it's against Minnesota.
I think it was Matt Blair. I think it was against Matt Blair.
It was an illegal check away from the play. That one really hurts the Vikings with 9 seconds left. And this will be 1st and goal from the 4.
Illegal contact.
First and goal. 9 seconds left.
Boy, what a contest, huh?
17-10. Minnesota leads. 9 seconds left. First and goal from the 4. Lofton and Jefferson are both to the left. Kaufman's in the game. You got to watch him. You got to watch him. Incomplete. Incomplete to Kaufman. A good defensive hit was made by John Swain, and he made him give it up.
And boy, here again, he doesn't drop those kind of passes very often. Look at it, right inside. He's got a jump right on top. He had the ball and
really
just dropped it. He just dropped it, Jack.
He really had the ball for what would have been the tying score.
John Swain made the tackle, but had nothing to do with his dropping the football. He should have caught it.
Now we only have 5 seconds left, and it's second and goal from the 4. The pass has got to go into the end zone. This may be the last play of the game. Touchdown! It was Mike Meade, the running back, who caught it with 2 seconds left.
Take this for granted. They block a lot of kicks. Talking about Minnesota, he's got to get the ball up fast.
Stenerud hasn't missed all year. Good. We're tied 17-17. Okay, we're going into overtime, folks. The king with the win. He should get it deep. Huckabee from the 1. 10, 15, 20, 25. This is the start of a 15-minute period, as you know. And the first team that scores any points will win it. John Turner bumped Huckabee out of bounds, and Lynn Dickey comes on and will try to move his team from the 25. I think I noticed on that last scoring drive by Green Bay that the Vikings really laid low in the blitzing department, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They tried to. They had 6 defensive backs in the game, Jack. 1 linebacker and 4 linemen. And they were hoping that they could make them make some kind of a mistake and stop themselves.
Got 6 tough yards. I mean tough yards. Bess and Turner finally dragged him down.
That's usually the time that Minnesota does a good job of scraping the ball loose. Bess had him low, and it looked like Turner would go for the ball, but he didn't in that particular case. Had he done so, he might have been able to get the ball.
Second down and 4. We're not going to worry about the clock for a while now. This be a good throwing down. He forced it in there, and what happened? It is ruled incomplete. He tried to get it to Kaufman. Heavy coverage by Tommy Hannon. Third down and 4.
And Blair was also there. Boy, he had to be a magician to get that ball in there to him that time.
Gary Ellis comes back in, as you see, brings a play in from the sideline to Lynn Dickey. Dickey's been in spots like this before, his 14th year out of Kansas State. We're tied 17 all. We're in overtime. Third and 4. Yes, Ivory and Ellis. What a time to get sacked. Joey Browner came and brought him down, number 47. Well, they didn't lay low this time, and that's the 7th sack of Dickey, and they left it punt.
Nobody blocked Browner on the play at all, number 47, coming from the outside.
And now, the punter, Scribner, will have to kick into the wind. Rufus Bess is back to get it at the 40-yard line.
Tough situation for him. He kicks the ball very high, and it's going to do a lot of funny things up there, Jack. He won't get much distance, probably.
A line drive kick, and Minnesota is going to stay away from it, and they'll get the ball at their 42-yard line in great field position. Brown and Darren Nelson are in the backfield for Steve Dills. They're not going to waste any time. Long to the sideline, and Nelson couldn't hang on. Nelson could not hang on with the linebacker Laughlin chasing him. 2nd and 10. They try to chew up a big hunk of the yardage there.
Boy, they had a man-for-man situation with a linebacker on the back, man for man, and boy, no chance whatsoever for him to cover the back. He was wide open, just dropped the football.
2nd down and 10. Bob Brewer is in as a tight end. He's on the right side. He's a better pass catcher than Casper. 3-man rush. Drops it off short to Brewer. 1st down and out of bounds at the 43-yard line. I'm right, am I not, Hank, that Brewer is to be considered a better receiver than Casper? Or maybe they're about even.
I would think they're even. I wouldn't say he's better, Jack. I sure wouldn't. Casper's an excellent receiver. He's a bigger guy right now than he was when he started playing for the Oakland Raiders. But he is still an excellent receiver, very sure-handed receiver. Right now, I think they like him better as a blocker because he doesn't know the system nearly as well.
Brewer stays in there, and it's a 1st down at the Green Bay 43. Pass wide open and caught at the 30-yard line by Sammy White. He caught a touchdown pass earlier today. He bobbled that one a little bit, but then put it away. And I bet Benny Ricardo along the Vikings sideline is anticipating an entry into this game.
Play action fake, faking up the middle, sets up nicely. Douglas is blitzing on a play, doesn't get there, and finally Lee makes the tackle on Sammy White, but not until after he makes that 1st down.
The other overtime game just ended. Kansas City beat Houston 13-10 on a Lowry field goal. From the 30, Brown got a couple of good blocks, and he's down near the 25. Already the Vikings are in danger territory. Mike Douglas and Rich Wingo made the tackle. George Cumbie has not returned to this game after leaving with an apparent knee injury for the close of the 1st half. We're tied 17-all, and we are in overtime. Rich Wingo trying to rally the defensive forces of Green Bay. 2nd down and 6. That's a 1st down carry by Ted Brown. And the Pack is getting into deep trouble here. It was Johnny Gray, the tackler. The Vikings are already in a spot where they could try a field goal. And here it's a big coaching decision, Hank, is how long do you continue to handle the ball before you try that field goal?
Well, I think you try to get as close as you possibly can. That last play was a trap play, Jack, and they executed. The timing of it was excellent. And the Green Bay was blitzing, and they caught him on the blitz.
The ball's at the 18-yard line. Brown again. He's down near the 14-yard line. I don't think they'll throw the ball anymore, do you?
No, I don't think they will. They just keep banging away and moving the pile and trying to get it as close as they possibly can for Benny Ricardo.
Mark Murphy made that tackle. Brown, of course, is a sure-handed ball carrier. He has rushed for 179 yards and 28 carries. He's been a workhorse today. From the 15-yard line, Brown again. And a good tackle was made. A very good tackle by Murphy at the 13-yard line. Here comes the field goal unit. Here comes the Minnesota field goal unit to try to end it. Ricardo, who has been a big part of this Viking team this year, comes in
This is a good move to kick it on third down, too, Jack, in case they have a problem. They still have another down to make the kick. The guy they have to concern themselves with is Gary Lewis, number 81, who has done such a good job of blocking kicks. They got to block him.
It's a 32-yard try.